Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is really special because today we are at Helios Luxe. We are witnessing the launch of Herbelin, a French brand, and we have Maxime Herbelin with us here today. And this is your first trip to India?
This is my first trip to India, and I really enjoy it.
And he's launching the brand here today. The first question is, the brand started way back in 1947. So tell us a little bit about the history, origins, and how you got into the watchmaking industry.
Okay. So, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be in India, and I will tell you a little bit more about the brand history. As you said, it started in 1947, and this is a significant year for you and for us. And for that, saying that, I'm really happy to share the history of the brand. Michel started a French guy. His whole life was a French guy, of course. He wanted to create flawless watches. His father was owner of a coffee shop. He was not at all in the business of watchmaking, and Michel was a very rigorous and very strong guy. And he said that watchmaking is a passion. It's a passion. He learned how to craft watches with his uncle, and then he worked with a manufacturer, but the quality didn't meet his standards. So he wanted to create his own flawless watch at the time, in 1947. So for 10 years, 20 years, he was working alone in the small village of Charquemont, close to the Swiss border, but on the French side.
Okay.
He employed some people from the hometown. They stayed in the company for some more than 40 years.
All right.
And up to the middle of the 60s, where Michel was considered as the French specialist of mechanical watches. Then in the 70s, at the beginning of the Quartz crisis, my uncle joined the company. And it was for them synonymous of international expansion. So we wanted to master the Quartz movement. The Quartz movement is very thin, so it allows the creator to be creative.
Yes.
Makes sense. And so they created minimalistic watches and ladies' watches at the time. And then so many events went from the 80s to now, the birth of Newport, the birth of the ladies' range. And we arrived in the company with my cousins and two other friends in the middle of the 20s, beginning of the 21st century. And we took over in 2020 after my father retired. So a huge family business.
When did you actually diversify and go global? So was it always from the start, or in the between you thought we should not limit ourselves just to France or Europe, and we should explore the rest of the world?
No, it was exploring the rest of the world at the beginning, because in the 70s, going to Europe or going abroad, it was always a very long trip.
Okay.
And so they were writing to distributors to try to catch some distributors. And at the beginning, it was Europe, it was Germany, it was Scandinavia, Switzerland, but soon it was America, and then Thailand.
Okay.
And then in South Africa at the end of the 70s.
All right.
And this South Africa is a good example because it's a partnership that lasts for 50 years now with the same company, not the same person, because someone took over the company when the first guy retired.
Okay.
But this is the same soul, the same story, the same will to develop the brand.
All right.
And that's why when you have the right person at the right place, sometime at the right time, and you want to continue, it's not one shot. You do great things.
And when sometimes partnership works well, we should not change it.
Yeah, exactly. You should develop it. You always have to question what you're doing.
Yes.
But when it's working,
you
should use it as a milestone, not as something that you should get rid of and start over. That's what we want to create in India. And I'm pretty sure Indian customers are really keen to know more about Herbelin. But I hear about you a lot, and you like authentic things. You pay attention to details. You like elegance, and I hear also that you like France.
Right.
So there are great components that make Herbelin has a lot of chance to grow in this market.
I wanted to know something more about your manufacturing setup. So what is your manufacturing setup in 2026 compared to what started way back in 1947?
The main difference is that we have modern workshops now. But when Michel started this company, he had his office in his kitchen. his workshop in someone's office.
All right.
The accounting department was in another house. It's all in the same village,
Yeah.
but in different streets. So in 1976, if I remind well, they built the first Herbelin building with the first workshop.
Okay.
And everything was inside. But 10 years after that, it was too small. So they started having advertising in one house, accounting in another one. So
right.
it was so at the time, my father and my uncle decided to have a very modern building, 3,000 square meters.
All right.
With the workshops, with marketing, with accounting, with export department, after sales, logistics, and everything. 2021, we rebuilt everything, and because it was at the first floor, we rebuilt everything. The two main workshops were totally rebuilt to be modern. The way we produce watches is the same, more or less, than when Michel started, because this is a work of passion. This is something that needs passions, that needs time to be very precise, because it's the devil lies in the details when it comes to watchmaking.
Right.
So you don't need to have very modern, robots or something. You need people with commitment involved in the process, and the main thing is to keep people involved.
I wanted to ask you one question. So since it's been now what 79 years, 8 years approximately.
Yeah, 8 years, 8 years next year. Yeah.
So which is your favorite model or watch in those history?
In all these years, the main model for me was the first Newport I got, because Newport is the iconic model of Herbelin brand that I'm not wearing it anymore. It was a gift from my father. It's in a tray at my own place, but he has no value for money, but it's just sentimental value, very emotional, because it was the beginning of my story with watchmaking, I would say. And the other models, I have two models in mind. I have one model for the 35th anniversary of Newport, which is a very sleek model. Elena, she's wearing it right here.
Okay.
Elena, she's behind the camera.
And you can come here once again and show the watch.
We just want to see the watch. This watch, which is a full ceramic watch with anti-reflection treatment on the scratch-proof sapphire crystal.
Okay.
And you have also a ceramic dial, so you can go deep into Herbelin by looking at this model.
All right.
And it's all the Newport DNA, all the Newport codes.
Right. And this is the one which you said that you would wear more frequently as well, if given a choice.
Usually I'm wearing this watch, but in 43 millimeters.
Understood.
Or this one.
All right.
This is a square one, but this is more. This is a Cap Camara collection. It's 8 years this year, so this is most iconic.
Right.
This is most trendy, but this is iconic. And the other one I'm thinking of, it's a very thin watch. We won an award in France for in 2002 for the Newport Slim Mechanical, without the wheels.
Okay.
And you can see through the two sapphire crystal, and it was really nice. It was 7 millimeters thick.
Wow.
Really, really nice one.
7 millimeters, pretty thin for a mechanical one.
Yeah, very thick.
When I got invited to this, I was doing some homework. So one thing I noticed is you have this limited models, especially like Odyssey, Newport, etc. So do you stick to those minimum number of models with different variations, or do you change them for a period of few years? Like you launch something new every few years and retire something old?
Good question, because we have main collections and we have models inside the collections. So we launch several models every year into these collections. So the main collections today are Inspiration, you can see. We have Newport, we were talking about, with an exclusive edition for the Indian market.
Okay.
And we have Cap Camara, we have Antares, we have a lot of French for ladies, jewel-like watches. And in these collections, we move, but the collection stays. You were talking about Odyssey. Odyssey was a collection that lasted only 6 years.
Okay.
But we had other collections like Safari that lasted 25 years, Karga 20 years, Newport it's almost 40. And Cable, we had Cable watches. It started in 1978 and we stopped in 2022.
Oh, wow.
But we will relaunch it because we are following the trends. We are putting our soul into what we're producing. We have our idea of what should be our watches. And then sometimes we need to change. Sometimes we need to stick to what we've done.
You have both quartz and mechanical movements, correct? So tell us something about how you source your mechanical movements, quartz movements, and
there's two things. we only choose Swiss movement, whether they are quartz movement or mechanical movement. We are working with independent companies, suppliers, very well known and very precise in what they're doing, very reliable. And then how to choose the size and the price. It depends on what's the message. If you want something that lasts forever, that is sustainable, that you can repair and repair and repair, you use a mechanical watch.
Right.
But it's thicker.
Right.
And it's more expensive.
Right.
It depends what's the goal of the watch. If you want an accessory, a design accessory that you can change, that you can put into your tray sometimes and change with another Herbelin watch, for example, we use a quartz because the movement is very very thin and very small, so that you are wearing a jewel.
Right.
Or if you just put importance into design but not into mechanism,
Right.
you can have quartz movement into a big watch because the price is cheaper, but the product is more accurate than the mechanical.
Yes. Yes.
The difference, it's
the case can hold a mechanical movement, but we are using it as a quartz.
Less sustainable, but even though we're repairing a lot of quartz movement, less sustainable than mechanical.
So the brand is as old as independent India.
Yeah.
So this is the first partnership you're entering into India. Do you have anything specific that you plan to release for Indian market, say 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line? I know this specific variant is India only variant with that gold and black toned dial, but do you have something in mind?
I don't have anything in mind right now. I'm just listening. Of course, we listen to our customer. So at some point, we will make something special if there's a need to make something special. We don't want to disguise the brand and to change the brand for what it's not, because it's not in India, but because I'm pretty sure that people, if we change Herbelin to another design that's only for the sake of changing design, it's not going to work. People that want Herbelin want to be guided to plunge into the world of Herbelin, but to be more adapted to the market, to have the green dials, for example, or Roman figures, or the rose gold, or something like this. Of course, we will study everything. It took us not a long time to have a return from the market to say, oh, we need this model because this model did not exist in yellow gold.
Okay.
We did this model in yellow gold. Okay, we make it specifically for you because this is Newport, because this is still our DNA, but it fits better the market. We listen to the market, we listen to the customer. This is kind of a partnership. We want to be happy, but more than all, we want the customer to be happy.
All right. I'm pretty sure Indian buyers would appreciate the brand's history pedigree, because Indians are usually drawn to everything that is authentic, old, has heritage, history, and especially vintage. Okay, so with that, I'm pretty sure you fit right there with the horology culture in India. And I wish you all the best, and thank you for taking the second take with me.
Yeah, it's okay.
And due to the camera failure, so I should really appreciate and thank you for the support. Wishing you all the very best, Maxime, and we look forward to having you more here in India.
Yeah, maybe soon.
We'll see. And in more stores.
Yeah.
All the best. Take care. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.